our special welcome to our cadets present here. And let me first thank Secretary Faisal. We got a note that your team said you want the dialogue to be small and intimate. And I had to then transmit my ambition that we have cadets that would want to be privileged to see a secretary from Switzerland engaging in a very important issue of the democratic dividend, the importance of democracy. So thank you very much for the indulgence. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa's foreign policy is anchored in the conviction that democracy, human rights, and the rule of law are indispensable to a peaceful, just, inclusive, and a more equitable international order. Our Constitution, on the occasion of 30 years of its celebration, are born from the struggle against both colonialism and apartheid. It is not only the supreme law of our land, but it is also the legal, ethical, and moral lodestar of our democracy and our foreign policy. This anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, therefore calls on us not only to celebrate, but also to reflect, to renew and recommit ourselves to the constitutional promise of human dignity, equality, the construct of a non-racial society, a non-sexist society, and the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, South Africa's foreign policy cannot be separated from our history. Because we know the pain of racism, we are therefore obligated to oppose racism wherever it occurs. Because we know the consequences of apartheid, we must therefore oppose the systems of dominance, occupation, and institutional discrimination where it rears its ugly head. Because we know the cost of international interference, we must stand in solidarity with peoples whose rights and dignity are denied. Our foreign policy, ladies and gentlemen, is therefore informed by the enduring principles fought in Pan-Africanism, human rights, international law, multilateralism, peace diplomacy, active non-alignment, international solidarity, and economic diplomacy. These principles are reflected in our diplomacy of Ubuntu, the understanding that our humanity is affirmed through the humanity of others. Ladies and gentlemen, this dialogue is the concrete product of a sustained diplomatic engagement between our two countries during President Ramaphosa's state visit to Switzerland in October 2025. Minister Lamola and Federal Councillor has signed a letter of intent on cooperation in international peace mediation and strengthening of democratic resilience. This letter of intent commits our two countries to cooperate in equality, reciprocal benefit, mutual respect, and it provides for frequent exchanges, joint programs on conflict analysis, cooperation in diplomacy and mediation, complemented by institutional capacity building that inevitably will forge stronger links between our two respective democracies and in particular our Women and Youth Mediators Network. Today's democracy dialogue is the first concrete step in the implementation of this agreement, and it will translate, ladies and gentlemen, into a high-level political world that will find expression through the practical exchange through people-to-people mechanism. We want to dedicate Secretary Faisal dialogue today to the memory of the June 1976 young people who fought against unjust laws of apartheid. This today is the destiny of these cadets to their future. Thank you very much.